What do you see as the top challenges facing law enforcement and government agencies?
Well, first off, I think we're seeing a compounded series of, a bunch of different crises all manifesting themselves kind of at the same time. And that in and of itself is really quite a challenge. So there's that. At the same time, the pace of technological change is, unprecedented. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. And so we're really trying to adapt from our public lives to what we're doing in the office. So we're at the same time having to reestablish public trust in law enforcement, and from a number of different perspectives. In certain geographies, that's about sort of racial protests. In others, it's about this sort of rise of a techlash almost against too much surveillance tracking of our citizens. So we're really trying to reestablish that trust. We're also having to address greater calls to justify the ROI and the expenditures that we are, devoting to our police organizations and agencies in a way that really is unprecedented. And I think this will just continue to get worse as we wrestle with COVID budget declines and COVID municipal budget shortages in terms of actually having to account for those budget savings. So I think there's going to be increased pressure on law enforcement to account for the types of solutions that they're implementing and account for what and where they're spending their dollars. So that's going to become very important for organizations at the same time. We're also some police agencies are having to just completely change their models of response, and that's an additional challenge for a number of agencies as they try to really kind of get back to first principles on what and how they should be ensuring community safety. With all of that in mind, there's this continued growth of the types of digital assets that we see coming into investigations. If you'd asked me, Mark, whether we would have been talking about the video footage that's on drones, for example, or coming from drones, or the number of investigations that are involving audio services in cars or wearables. If you asked me that question a couple of years ago, I would have said very minor. But now we see that's a part of day-to-day operations. And then lastly, I think we're really trying to help agencies blend a kind of a legacy infrastructure with really next-gen technology, and that in itself is difficult. There are 25-year-old CAD solutions and RMS solutions that are the sort of major operational and investigative foundations that are really having to work in conjunction with really advanced, next generation drones, robots, AI imbued kind of solutions. So there's a lot of difficult compounding challenges, to be sure.